The Federal Aviation Administration on Tuesday approved Boeing's plan to test its proposals to fix the battery problems that have grounded its 787 jets since mid-January. The FAA could still demand changes in Boeing's new battery design if problems develop in the laboratory and flight tests, which will take several weeks. The decision to start the tests marks a major step in Boeing's efforts to get the innovative jets back in the air. But it also could sharpen the debate among some safety experts over how certain Boeing and the FAA are that the changes will eliminate the risk of smoke or fire in the batteries. This comprehensive series of tests will show us whether the proposed battery improvements will work as designed, said Ray LaHood, the Transportation Secretary. We won't allow the plane to return to service unless we're satisfied that the new design ensures the safety of the aircraft and its passengers. Investigators in the United States and Japan have not been able to determine the precise cause of two recent problems with the batteries. The National Transportation Safety Board has found that a short circuit in one cell caused a battery in a jet parked at Logan Airport in Boston to overheat and burst into flame on January 7. But investigators in Japan have suggested that something else may have caused the battery on an All Nippon Airways 787 to emit smoke on a flight on January 16. They said the battery might have been hit by a surge of electrical current from another part of the plane. The F.A.A.'s Seattle office last week recommended approval of Boeing's plan for the tests, which are needed to certify that the proposed fixes would work, federal officials said. The certification plan requires a series of tests that must be passed before the 787 could return to service. The plan establishes specific pass-fail criteria, defines the parameters that should be measured, prescribes the test methodology and specifies the test setup and design. FAA engineers will be present for the testing and will be involved in all aspects of the process. The FAA has also approved limited test flights for 2 aircraft. These aircraft will have the prototype versions of a new containment system designed to seal off any smoke or fire. The purpose of the flight tests will be to check the battery instrumentation and the container. The agency will approve the redesign only if the company successfully completes all required tests and analysis. The FAA said its order grounding the plane remains in effect, and it said it is continuing the review of the 787 design, production and manufacturing process. We are confident the plan we approved today includes all the right elements to conduct a comprehensive evaluation of the battery system redesign, said Michael P. Lertic, the FAA administrator. Today's announcement starts a testing process which will demonstrate whether the proposed fix will work as designed. Mr. LaHood said in January that the planes won't fly until we're 1000% sure they are safe to fly. Boeing officials said they think they have identified the most likely ways in which the batteries could fail. They contend that the changes would minimize the odds of future incidents and protect the plane and its passengers if a problem does arise. Under the plan, Boeing proposed adding insulation among the 8 cells in the battery to minimize the risk of a short circuit cascading through most or all of them. It also would space the cells further apart and add systems to monitor the temperature and activity in each cell. It would enclose the batteries in high-temperature steel boxes, instead of the earlier aluminum ones to contain any fire. And it would create tubes to vent hazardous gases outside the plane. Aviation analysts said the plan would probably protect against the main problem that the safety board has identified, a short circuit in one of the cells that can set off a chemical reaction that leads the battery to overheat. But analysts have said they would feel more comfortable if a precise cause were found and the problems that happened on the 2 flights in January could be replicated in a lab. The approval of the changes is also a highly political process, and Mr. Lertic and Mr. LaHood are trying to balance safety concerns with the interest at Boeing and in the airline industry in getting the planes flying again. Perceptions of the traveling public also loom large as Boeing tries to restore confidence in the 787s, known as the Dreamliners for their use of new technologies that reduce fuel costs by 20%.